Yeah, as far as you can. See how it is? Huh? I see how it is taking all the fun jobs, huh? No climbing in here, sucking in all this dust. It's not that fun. We aren't getting bomb-proof goats though. Oh, God.
It's like an earthquake.
Yeah.
This is
ripping.
Rioter gets in
It's
here.
getting super thin. We got to get that other tarp over this.
Okay.
That other tarp's going to stop all of this too.
Nice.
Because it'll come up over this edge. I don't know. It might rip because these aren't cut. So that might end up being a problem, but it is what it is. Let me out! We're giving them extra grain because it's winter and it helps them keep warm.
They like it.
Okay, so a couple of new things that we're going to do is for our members, we are going to do a live video at 5 p.m. once a month. And I did post on the community page, which we do a lot. I post some things on the community page, so make sure if you're not seeing those that you go to that section and check the community page. And that'll give you for updates on like if we've had to change our videoing schedule or anything like that. So once a month we'll be doing a live video for our members only and our Patreons. I'll be getting you a link to get involved in that also. And we will do a live for the whole channel when we hit 5,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. And make sure you hit the bell notification so that you can be notified on all the stuff that we're doing, all the videos and all of that build. What we're working on now is a tiny house shipping container, and we've started the installation and prepping to add windows and doors. It is probably about 30 degrees outside. If you're watching this years in the future, it is 2022, January 5th, I think. So we're setting this up and marking our lines on where we're going to be doing, we're doing a wood frame around the windows. I do not know how to weld, so we're not doing the welded metal ones. So we're doing wood. So we're marking those lines for that, and we'll be bringing the insulation up to those lines so that we can then cut this out. We've already added in the pink foam insulation. On this side, we need to tape it. There's a couple of cracks that we need to add some door and window spray foam to seal all that in. And then we will be adding framing in front of that, more insulation, plastic barrier, and then our finished wall, whatever we end up doing. So that's what we are doing to address the sweating issue that happens in metal buildings. And from the research that I've done, that should keep that from happening. So we're obviously heating with a wood stove, and that does dry out the air a lot. So I think with all of that combination, we should be fine with the way that we're doing it. And this was the recommended way, unless you're doing spray foam. spray foam is the best. That's not something that I can afford to do or do with this temperature because we can't really keep this shipping container above freezing in January in northern Idaho. So this is our solution to this problem, and let's get to the build. Try to do that without hitting the wall. Day 3, wall insulation. I think we have a plan. We all know how those goes. All right, I'm gonna squeeze by you. Right at 50 inches. That's funny. It's like exact. We need to subtract 1.5 inches. So there's 50 inches, 1.5. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just edited the last video. And you guys saw us try to measure the way we were measuring, but we bought a drywall T-square.
Da, da, da.
It's a game changer. All right, find my mark. Hurry over. Don't walk away from your mark. You will never find it again. Clear. Ew. Take 2. For 8.5. It is that one. Okay, except for I can't do this one by myself.
I'll come help.
Okay, so what I think I've decided to do, instead of adding that section that I did over there, our 2x6 material, here, this wall is going to be like this. And so what I'll do is I'll come in and I'll spray foam that crevice there. Because I want to make sure that I have enough room for our OSB for our siding on the outside. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, I need enough room for our actual siding. So we have our OSB and then our siding. So I may need to take all of that off anyway, because I need to shift that in so that there's enough and then the door can still close. So I think I'm going to actually put, this is why I talk this stuff out, you guys. Well, I'm actually going to put where this framing for this wall comes up to the red section right here, and then we have enough room for OSB and then our siding and then for the door to close. So actually I think that's definitely what I'm going to do. And then when I spray foam, it'll actually spray foam in this little whole crevice and everything. So I think that's the best idea. So if we continue with the pink insulation, which we actually can, because this wood stove is one that doesn't get hot in the back. It's one that can actually be close to the wall, to combustible materials. So it's like, it's barely warm right there. And it's actually cold here in the back. I can put my hand on it and it's like not even as hot as a cup of coffee. It's warm. So I think we will just continue the insulation behind, the pink insulation behind all of this. And then cut out around that thing there. We can stuff it with the fire retardant insulation all up in closer. And then we can continue our framing like we normally would. Because I actually forgot that this didn't get until I stuck my hand back here. Like, this is, I can easily put my hand on that with no problem. And the wood stove right now is about 600 degrees. So, yeah. So I think we're good there. So we're gonna go ahead and glue this up here. This gives us the space to connect our 2x6 framing here. And this piece will actually sandwich the inside and the outside of the metal. And then our actual framing piece will come solid, and then this is the window. This is our window line. So then we'll have 3 inches of wood around to hold that window in so it doesn't shift or move. And then our stud jacks will be directly under here. So our stud jack will poke out a bit, and then we'll have to do a filler space. But that's the only way I could think to do it in the ways that they've showed us to do it. So most of the places aren't doing this pink insulation, but those are places that aren't in this cold of weather. So that's how we're going to do it.
Okay, hey, so since we're on a break, maybe we should do a fireside question and answer.
Okay.
But just, 1 or 2 questions. So Mary's Homestead wanted to know if there's 12 eggs in a dozen, as we know it, how many eggs are in a baker's dozen?
So I actually thought that it was 14 because I know a baker's dozen, bakers go by weight, not actually like 3 eggs. They would weigh it out, I think for sure. So I thought it was 14, but we Googled it just to make sure, and it's actually 13. So I knew that it was more than 12. That's a really good question.
I bet Mary already knew the answer
She
to that.
probably did. That's funny.
Let's see. And Heather, are you happy that Coeur and Kimmy are back?
Yes. It's hard to work by yourself, especially in the wintertime, because everything already takes 3 times longer, and then adding it being cold, that takes 3 times longer, so you feel like you make 0 progress, and it's really hard to motivate yourself to come out here and do it. And then I was really bummed that I didn't actually get both the door handle in this one over here, which we still haven't gone and done, but we wanted to get this insulation in so that we can start using the heat. We have this little warm spell coming in before we have probably another cold spell into the teens. But like this whole week we're staying in the 30s, so that's amazing and doable. So we got to go back to that. But yeah, it's like today, for instance, today we have divided and conquered. Kira is still working on firewood. She's getting it stacked. She's splitting what little bit more needs to be split until we've got a couple more logs that I can actually go out and cut. They're already down and dried. So I'm like, get all of that done and stacked and put away while we're having this bit of warm weather, and then I'll go out and cut up those 2 other logs, and they're actually the logs that we used to move this shipping container. So they're dry. They've been down for a while, for over a year, and we'll get those cut up and put in, and then Kim and I are in here working on the insulation. So to just be able to do that, if I was here by myself, would definitely have been, Kira's been working on the firewood basically for 2 days. This is day 2 on that. So that in itself probably would have taken me 4 days, and I wouldn't have got any of this stuff done. So.
And Heather's really not taking a break. Kind of, but not really. She's warming up the glue in her lap there.
We left it out. and this was an ice cube because it's metal. So the glue itself is still pretty good, but the container was really, really cold. So, and my knees are getting hot. So yeah, we're pretty much over with this break, but thank you for your questions. I like it. Do you guys like us doing, answering some questions in the middle of the videos? Let me know in the comments below.
Mary had a second part to that question, and her second part to the question was, are Coeur and I happy to be back? I can't speak for Coeur, but I am thrilled to be back. It's always nice to see family, but as most of you know, it's just, there's no place like home. And sometimes it's just good to have a little break from the family so you can appreciate them more. So I'm happy to be back here building and enjoying this wonderful outdoors and the nature and everything in here. And also, it's nice to be back with my best friend Heather, and be in with her shenanigans and her wonderful personality.
Because she's freaking funny.
She is funny. And she didn't pay me to say that.
Crying out loud. Found it. Oh, and it's not on a crack line. It's not on a crack line.
Heather's grandma used to say that, and so did mine. Did anyone else have their grandma say "for crying out loud"? If so, comment below.
'Cause that's where it comes from.
Seems to be a pretty common saying for that generation. Need a hand?
Maybe not, actually. Not sure if you heard what we were talking about, but what's happened is our concrete backer board that we have underneath the wood burning stove is actually too close to the wall. We needed to put that 4 inches away from the wall. So what we're gonna have to do is stop with the styrofoam at that point, and I'm gonna start working on this wall on the back. And tomorrow we'll have to, when it's all cooled down, we'll have to actually lift the stove up and pull that out the 4 inches so that it's right where it needs to be whenever we get our wall framing and then our wall board and all of our things on that. And then we can continue on with the insulation behind it and creating that envelope. So now we're gonna get started on this back wall, cutting the 2x6s to start that particular framing. Okay, that's our center spot. Where'd Doyle go?
Oh, Doyle, he walked away.
He got left behind. Way over here. We need
There's
you, man.
Doyle.
We need you. Taking unauthorized breaks. You know what else I don't have? My knee pads.
Oh, I saw them upstairs today and I almost grabbed them for you, but I was like, she hasn't worn those for a while. Your knee pads, my friend.
Thank you. My knees, thank you. Okay, so it is time for us to wrap it up and go. We didn't get finished. We're coming across an issue with our window. Might actually be too big for that space. We have to take it all the way up to this, almost to the ceiling, in order to have actual countertops and have it not go back down behind the countertop. So we're gonna measure some of our other windows. This may end up being a bedroom window, but we'll see. We both like the fact that it would be this great big huge end window, but it would be a little bit hard. The logistics of getting siding and all of that over the top of that might be an issue. So we're gonna measure our other windows. We're gonna come back at it tomorrow, and we'll definitely have a window that's gonna be set in there, either the one that we were going to or a different one. We'll find that out tomorrow. I hope you guys come and watch, and we appreciate all of you that's made it this far in the video. If you haven't and you're not subscribed, I really hope you would consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out a lot, and we just really appreciate you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Note to self, have hay thrown after you clear the roof. Being that I'm actually allergic to the hay, literally cannot breathe. Oh, Lordy. This Kira sneaks out. I'm adding a video. You gonna video me videoing us?
Yes.
Yoop. Okay, you guys. We are going. You guys want to know why we can't have nice things? So we had a candle on here, and when you walked up, you could smell like all this pretty candle, and then I came in and moved it so it wouldn't fall off and break, and it fell and broke.
Crime scene.
So hopefully it heats up enough that we can put some paper towels on that and get that up off the floor. I'll let you know if the epoxy seal worked. This Friday, nope, can't put that on there because this video is not going out till next week. So Union break it.
Sorry, but I want to say thank you for my snacks. I've eaten like a lot of meat. Okay.
Union break is over. Get back to work.
That was funny.
Right?
Whoops. She'll be here all day, folks.
All day. No, I did not almost fall off that step stool. Talk with my back to you. So I think we only need two more studs, one on each side, because that window's big enough. Are you laughing at my glasses?
Yes, you look so nerdy.
How's that?
Can you reach that?
I cannot. I'm gonna jump. 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
I nailed that landing. Did you see?
I did.